Hello everyone, welcome to اديونوفل educational platform. I'm Ms. Ragab. I'm an English teacher. I have been teaching English for 12 years in national and international schools. I'm really glad that I joined اديونوفل this year, as I see that they are trying to use their teacher skills to empower their students to succeed in English environment. So if you're learning English, I think you'll find today's lesson is important and fun in the same way. Today's lesson is a grammar lesson, as it seems to be a little bit serious, but if you learn the conditionals effectively, you will be able to express yourself clearly and also to be more creative with English. So let's start today's lesson with a question. What are the conditionals? How many conditionals do we have? We have 4 types of conditionals. Zero conditional, the first one, the second, and the third. Today in our lesson, we're going to focus on the zero, the first, and the second. Let's start with asking ourselves another question. Miss Heba, what happens if you heat ice? So I have here a situation, and you are asking for the consequences or for the results of this situation. So if you heat ice, it melts. What kind of conditional did we use here? We will see. So let's see here. The first conditional that we're going to focus on today in our lesson is the zero conditional. When do we use it and how? Let's see. Conditional of zero, first, second, and third. As I told you, we have 4. We're going to start with the first one. If you freeze water, it becomes a solid. So, what type of this conditional? This is the zero conditional. How can we know? Because the zero conditional, it has another name. Sometimes they call it the factual conditional. Why they call it the factual conditional? Because it expresses facts and general truth. It means what? It means that if you do this action, whatever the situation, the result is always the same. It means that if Miss Heba freezes the water, it becomes solid. This is a truth, or this is a fact. So when do we use a zero conditional? We use a zero conditional when we have a factual event or when we speak about general truth. Okay, so what can we figure out from this sentence? We can also figure out the form. We have here what we call the if sentence, and then we have, or the conditional sentence, and we have here the main clause or the results or the consequences for the situation. So we have here the first situation, as you can see, if you freeze water, what this tense? Okay, I cannot find any adding to the verb, and I have you. And what do we use to express facts and general truth? We use present simple. So as you can see, the first sentence after if is in the present simple, also the other sentence in the present simple. Because as we said, the 2 sentences here, they express factual events or they express general truth. Let's see the other one. Okay, zero conditional, it's used to talk about things which are always true. Things which are always true. As I said, if this happened, this is always the result. Again, here we're speaking about the form. As we said, we have the if clause comes in the present simple, and the main clause or the results or the consequences for the present situation here, it's also in the present simple. If you heat ice, it melts. Ice melts if you heat ice. Ice melts if you heat it. Ice melts if you heat it. Okay, the third sentence. If you mix red and blue, you get purple. If you mix red and blue, you get purple. This is also a fact. Or a general truth, because when you mix this, you're gonna get this. It will never change. So this is the zero conditional. So as you can see, the zero conditional, it's a factual conditional that expresses facts and general truth. We use in both parts of the sentence here, present simple, whether in the if conditional sentence or in the main clause, which is the results or the consequences. Clear? Okay. So what about the first conditional? We call it the conditional of possibilities. What does it mean by possibilities? Where everything can happen. So let's see. Okay, if you go to Orlando, you will meet Mickey. Okay, what's in Orlando? We have there that it's like Walt Disney city there. So what tense in the first verb and what tense is the second verb? As you can see, if you go to Orlando, you will meet Mickey. So here, the first part is really familiar, is the present simple. Okay, so why do we have here will and the verb in the infinitive? Because as you can see, the first conditional here talks about possibilities. We're not 100% sure of what might happen. So we have here the first one, the situation which is in the present, and the possible consequences or the results for this situation. So when we have possibilities in the future and the present time here, we use will plus infinitive. Okay, so it means that if this happened or this situation happened, the results is likely to happen like that, is likely to happen like that. Okay, I need you to notice the difference between always in the zero conditional and likely in the second, and sorry, in the first conditional. Okay, so let's see what the examples that we have here. The first conditional, it's used to talk about things which are possible in the present or the future. So we're speaking about situations and the results and consequences that might happen or likely to happen in the future. So as we call it, the possibility conditional. So we have the form and the first part, as we said, we have present simple in the if clause, and in the main clause, we have will plus infinitive. If I finish my homework early, I'll watch TV. So when do we use the first conditional? We can use the first conditional when we're speaking about predictions. Okay, if I finish my homework, I'll watch TV. We can use it when we have a promise. I'm going to say to my students, if you get the full mark, I'll get you a present. Okay, so when we have situation and the results here is likely to happen, we can use the first conditional. So again, what differs between the zero conditional and the first conditional? In brief, that this one we have the results always the same. In the second one here, we have possibilities for these results or for these consequences. Okay, Mary will look for a new job if she doesn't get a raise soon. So here we're speaking about prediction. She will look for a job if she doesn't get a raise soon. So we can, as you can see here, we can use if in the middle of the sentence, and we can also use it in the beginning of the sentence. So, but here, please be aware of the punctuation. When if is in the middle of the sentence, we don't use a comma to separate between the two sentences. But when it comes at the beginning, we have the first sentence or the conditional sentence, and then we have a comma, and then we have the main clause, and then of course a full stop. So let's practice it. Okay, complete each sentence with appropriate idea. Be sure to use the correct grammar. So let's see the first one. If I have time tomorrow, what will you do? Waiting for your answers. I would be upset if. What the situation that can make you upset? Remember here that the first sentence, we have the main clause. So we're going to have will plus the verb and the infinitive. In the second sentence, we have the main clause and then if, and we need the situation. And for Miss Hiba, I'll be upset if you come late to my session. The third one, if you don't practice English often, oh, there's gonna be a bad consequence then. The fourth one, I feel sick. If I feel sick tomorrow, what are the possibilities that might happen? You need to figure it out, waiting to see your answers. Okay, let's see this sentence. If I had $1 million, I would. Okay, look at the form in this sentence. I have, if I had, this is past. Miss Hiba, we haven't got past in the other conditionals, the zero, the first. Okay, maybe this is a new one. I would. Okay, guys, this is the second conditional. I call it the dreamy conditional. Here it talks about dreams and imagination because these are unreal situations. These are unreal situations. It means that you're wishing for something, or you are imagining something, or you are dreaming about something. So, what would you do if you had $1 million? For me, if I had $1 million, I would travel the world. So, am I a millionaire? No. So, these situations are not real. So here, when the situation is not real, of course, the results or the consequences will also be, are they gonna be a real situations? No. Do we have here a real consequences or results for these situations? Of course not. So, do I really have $1 million? I wish. Do I really live in Italy? I also wish. So, these are imaginary situations. So, as you can see, we are using here imagination. As I told you, this is for dreams. Sweet dreams, my sweet students. I hope that I haven't been okay. As you have seen, this was only a part of our lesson. If you want to continue, I would like you to join us at اديونوفل. As you can see, learning a language is not an easy journey, but you can join us to help you to pass through the journey. Thank you so much. Wish to see you later. Bye-bye.